Hi, welcome to GrandLine Grinders Podcast, episode 35. And today I have a special guest with me, MedEscoto. So he streams over
Hey.
on Twitch, and so he's also a Marine vet. So go ahead and put in the comment section. Shout outs to Marine vets out there. So today, again, we're going to be talking about, of course, the OP14 meta. And, of course, we're going to be talking about the brand new leader that's very interesting. We haven't really seen it as an actual card, a type of strict restriction on it. But how are you doing, Med? And go ahead and talk about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I'm Med. I've been playing One Piece since OPO7, a little closer to like when they started the starters, so like 7.57. So I've been playing for a little bit over a year now. I think it's like a year and some months. I've let's see. On my own channel, I do a bunch of variety. I do One Piece every so often, but I do a bunch of retro and things like that. Uh, any other general questions? I don't know. Marine vet, as
Yeah.
stated, I served from 2012 to 2017, and I've been streaming since 2019. So I've been streaming for 7 years. Wow, yeah, 7 years. Holy crap!
Yeah, sounds like me. I think 2019 is when I started, but I started with Magic the Gathering, which I do stream once a week on that, but I try not
Cool,
to.
cool, cool.
Yeah, I tried to mix up my stuff up. So let's go ahead and get right into the power rankings from this past week. So this past week, there's a lot of influx here. We actually, I think Jinbei made the top 10. Dofi actually has a positive win right now. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, we now see the Yuffie making
Mm-hmm.
his claim to fame here at a 57.2% win rate. He's probably going to keep going up if I had to guess here, but looks like he is bad into Emu, Ace, and Luffy, Blue Purple Luffy.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about this meta? I think this meta actually looks kind of how I thought it would look, honestly. Like a lot of OP14 leaders, a little bit of the best of OP13, and
I am a little surprised about Mihawk. Only because at my own local, like I'm from the Orlando area in Florida, and Mihawk is very popular over here. And because a lot of the Bonnie players have transitioned to Mihawk, and I know Mihawk is a little more of a high rolly deck, but people seem to really like it. And it seems to do very well into a lot of matchups. So I thought it was going to be a little bit higher than that. But looking at the chart, does not seem to do as good as I originally thought.
well, keep in mind a lot of these matchups are within 47 and higher. This is 46, basically 47. This is 45. This is 40, basically 50. This is 47. So it seems like he's like the new Shakes leader.
Okay,
So like
okay.
he has like a 50% win rate across the board. And basically that would come down to the fact how good of a pilot are you with this deck? If you
Yeah,
understand that you how to properly starve, I imagine Boa, you probably have probably a positive win rate into Boa. If you
yeah.
don't know how to effectively starve Boa correctly, you're gonna end up probably losing. So he's definitely is going to be a tricky leader to master.
Do
Once you
you
do,
starve in Mihawk? Because Shanks lowers their power, and then the 9 cost Shank or the 9 cost Mihawk forces them to not be able to rest. Stopping a blocker like that and then minusing their board, it's like cool, swing fives into me. I can take that. Well, Mihawk doesn't run a lot of counter itself. He runs a lot of counter events.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I definitely think you would have to starve until at least you have Shanks down.
Yeah, I
So
think having two Shanks is
yeah,
chef's kiss for that.
yeah. So I would think that would be one more I would say like your 9 dawn turn. So I think when you could start actually being aggressive, but you do not want to go like on your turn 3 dawn, give him a trigger body that's a 5 drop, and then trigger attack again on your 5 dawn turn and give him another body like that.
Yeah.
Probably is not. That's usually going to cause you to lose. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but so Luffy sitting around a 50% win rate. This deck has steadily been here since it's been out in OP 11.
Yeah.
Seems to be the only one that's kind of pre. OP13
Yeah.
lingering around. What do you think about Luffy?
I think it's not at its full potential in terms of like a solid list. I think it's still being figured out. But I feel like once it's figured out, it's going to be a really tough list to deal with because back to back Rogers, man, Sanji Roger, being an 8K lead where you kind of go, cool, Boa, go ahead and trigger some bodies. You're going to need like 15 Dawn under them just to fucking get a 1K out of me is
Yeah.
kind of tough to deal with. I think that's definitely a sleeper pick. Because I know it's popular to grab like the newer leaders right now, but I definitely think Luffy's going to be a menace. He has all the control pieces of blue, red rocks, grav blades, pudding, and he gets to be an 8K lead for a bunch of it. And he bottom decks with the Mihawk, and he can rush you down. Seems kind of strong to me.
Yeah, I agree. So like I definitely know like Roger might showing up again after OP15, just because I think that new Zoro, the red Zoro, is absolutely going to go to town in Roger. I'm just
That's
having
Zoro's
12.
going to town everywhere, sir. If you're red, you're running at least 4 of those bitches.
That's probably true. It is probably actually even Ace probably runs the fourth place out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I've seen Ace players saying that they're gonna replace the Nine Beard that's in their list with Zoro because you just run them earlier. The 8 Dawn when you don't have the event, you just play Zoro,
Yeah.
and then it's basically the same type of shit. If you sit there, if you play the event, you get the Nine Beard. If you're at 8 Dawn and you play the Zoro, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah. And like I said, I really do think Zoro is going to shake up, at least Roger for in particular, because I mean, still have 8-drop Roger, you still have 7-drop Zoro, and you could play 10-drop Shanks, or you could play 10-drop Roger, if you want to go ham on 12 copies of plus 2K lead.
Yeah.
So Roger, I think, would be really good post that. But
Yeah,
sadly, it's
9K lead is so scary.
yeah. Sadly, though, the only advantage that Luffy has, of course, is the fact that he gets to dig
Yeah,
5
I
every
mean,
turn, which
13 is super strong,
it is. It's extra cards every
especially when you
turn.
do it for free.
So
Oops, 8 done.
in OP14, what deck are you considering being your main?
I'm currently playing Red Law, and I'm playing Blue Purple Sanji.
Yeah, I actually recently picked up the pieces for Sanji.
Nice.
I anticipated it being really decent after EBO3.
Yes.
With the new Reiju.
Mm-hmm.
But
My opinion on that is that I actually think Blue Purple Sanji is viable right now. I think he's in a place where he can top 8. I think he is way stronger once he gets to Reiju. Like I feel he's at the bare minimum like a 1.5 with the Reiju.
yeah, I would put him in the top 20 leaders.
Yeah, like
Probably even top 15.
I think he's legitimately a huge threat when you get to EVO3. Right now, it's like hey, you bring it to a local, you'll top 8 with it kind of deck. But if you bring it to a regional, it's going to be a little rough.
Yeah, and you don't ever know when they're going to print even more support for it, because they keep dumping support for Sanji.
I honestly don't think he's going to get any more anytime soon. He's gotten so much. I do not anticipate more support at least until 16.
Yeah, because what my thought process, was the next time you might see him is if they print in the starter decks 31 to 36. If somehow they put Sanji as the blue leader or the purple leader, and I imagine they probably also will do Kobe as the black or red leader. Like you might start seeing them again, put 2 more super rares for him.
Yeah.
And if
I
they do
think Kobe
that,
is a sleeper. I think Kobe's kind of scary too. I think a lot of decks are just getting scary, man. The power creep is kind of nuts.
yeah, I wouldn't even classify them as scary. I just consider them just kind of like at a, I don't know if, kind of like a, if you play Magic the Gathering, like you have your standard meta, which is lower curve, but Pioneer, like there's a lot more card pool, the stronger cards. I think it's basically getting to that point where every deck has a lot of good depth in their actual card pool of playable stuff, and now it's gonna take a little bit more to basically. If I hope they stay at that power level, and every leader kind of comes out at that power level, and every past leader kind of gets ramped up to that power level, and that seems like a very fun level. So
Mm,
like,
mm,
there's a lot
mm,
of strength there. There's a lot of depth, and I think it's a fun level.
mm.
Not the emu level, because emu is I don't like it. I don't like that deck. But
I don't think anyone likes emu except the people who play emu.
I, are you sure they even like it? They just like winning, probably.
I mean, they like maybe the mechanics around it because I do say, objectively speaking, the deck has a cool idea. I do think it's really cool that you summon 5 bodies from the trash, summoning like your big body, and then you're basically setting it up. I think it's cool. I think like it thematically, like for the show and for the card game, is a very good transition. I just think the actual elders themselves are really overtuned as a whole.
I mean, I can understand why they should be overtuned. I mean, they're like 5 of the strongest people in the entire characters in the entire show. But at the same time, like, I think they just overtune the stage, um, which is more of the issue. Like, if you couldn't
Stage is
chain
annoying.
if you couldn't chain 10 drops every single turn and have Dawn up for your 1 drop 4K events, it would be as strong. But like,
Yeah.
honestly, I think Crocodile is the perfect amount of fun and reanimation style effects
Yeah.
kind of shoved into one. Like, Crocodile was perfect. Chef's
Yeah.
kiss to that deck. Like,
Hate
I
dealing with it, but I do agree.
I'm definitely going to try it. I'm going to be building Crocodile most likely. That's going to be my second target behind Dofi, because
I think
I'm a purple person. So,
I respect that. I
um,
think it's a very, very solid deck. I think Crocodile, when he finds his pieces, his 8 cost Crocs, and is able to just chain them back to back to back, it's so annoying. It's like, oops, freeze this thing. Oops, freeze that thing. Oops, 10k swing, 10k swing. It's like, dude,
oh
my back's
man,
breaking, bro. I can't take this.
oh man, you're starting to make him sound like a green deck. You're starting
He
to make
is. He's low key a green deck disguised as a black deck. Real shit. Because that's what he does. He literally chains the 8s, freezes a body, KOs it, plays it again, freezes a second body, swings out, and sometimes if you're able to reduce something else down to 0, you use the Hot Your Patch event
yes, so it
to
doesn't.
freeze a third body. And that's
Yes,
what you're doing every turn. As long as you're able to chain that back to back, your opponent does nothing for like 3 turns. It's like, oh, okay, swing. It's like, all right, freeze 3 again, do it again.
so now you're starting to make him sound like he's 10 drop Dofi, the green Dofi.
He kind of is. He's a little more complicated and he draws you more cards, but he kind of is.
Yeah, so like, you just took all the fun out of Crocodile. Like, my least favorite color in the game is green.
That's super funny. But no, that's the thing. He kind of is. Because his end game state literally looks like that. It's literally just freeze a body, KO it, freeze a body, use event, freeze a body, swing out.
So I mean,
And then rinsing and repeating it.
and you're not wrong. Because the on KO ability, just pitch a card and draw a card
Yeah,
it's really
filter,
nice.
baby.
It's really nice. So if you were to play any of these decks on the top 10, what would you actually play?
Top 10?
If you were like, assuming these are the kind of leaders you would take if you're going to a region. Like,
This is true.
what leader would you gravitate towards, or do you think Law could do it?
I'm not going to lie to you. I think people really underestimate Law.
Yes. Then again,
People don't even know what my deck does. Again, I used my local as a sample size. I had a 40-man local that I top 8. I hit 8th. And the amount of times my opponents went, what does that do? Was really strong. People don't know what I'm doing, and I'm an aggro deck, baby. I'm swinging out, man. 5, 5, 5, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8. Like, I'm swinging out. Like, against Boa, we race, baby. Against Emu, he hates swings like that. Against Ace, Ace is my rough matchup. Against, like, Dofi, you starve him out, you power minus him because a bunch of your cards power minus, and you just swing into the board. Against Croc, you race. The only real scary thing is Mihawk because he becomes a 6k lead because you're Slash. He's probably my worst matchup, and it depends on the popularity of Mihawk. If his results cause him to drop off of the chart, I think Law's legitimately viable. But if Mihawk stays in the top, then I don't think Law's viable, and then I'd probably play Blue-Purple Sanji.
Okay.
But out of these leaders, it's just none of them really fit my vibe. But if I had to pick one, it'd probably be either Luffy or Boa.
So the yellow triggers.
Yeah, I just think the trigger stuff is really solid, and I think there's the chance of RNG being able to save you is pretty good, especially in Luffy. The amount of oops, freeze a body, or oops, I triggered a body, or oops, zero cost event, add a life, saved me for the game, and now I can swing out, I think is very valuable, because you can play everything right, but sometimes you just lose to RNG type stuff, like sometimes you don't draw your top end, sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
I experienced that the other day when I was playing either King or Kaido. I was like, where's my top end? Like, this is a purple deck. I should be seeing this stuff. But
no.
But I do agree with you about Law. Like, Law and Gecko Moria, like, they shoved them into the C tier. Like, and clearly Gecko Moria is top 5. Like,
yeah, Gecko's good. The only negative about Gecko is his leader effect is a little iffy in terms of like certain situations, but his package is so good, and you have the black thriller bark to help you get your pieces. So it's like, in exchange for my leader effect being a little weaker, my package is the most consistent. Because, I mean, sorry if I'm yapping too much.
No, you're good.
But a lot of the yellow decks have, like, the discussions around them have been, oh, Thriller Bark package, just slap it into the yellow stuff. It's like, oh, I want to run green yellow Yamato. Oh, but I want to put Thriller Bark in it. Oh, I want to run yellow Bonnie. Oh, but slap Thriller Bark into it. Oh, I want to run Nico Robin, the yellow purple one. Oh, let's slap Thriller Bark into it. And oh yeah.
Yeah. So the downside about that, where Gecko Moria really actually gets the advantage, is he is a 7 Lords of the Sea, so he gets to still play Boa. So like the only one that really I think could compete with it is Boa Hancock. If she went with the Thriller Bark package and still gets to play 9-drop Boa.
And that's exactly the point I was going to make. I was going to say that the biggest advantage over Gecko is that he gets to get the 7 Warlord specific stuff like Boa.
Yes.
Which makes, I think, and that's what pushes Gecko over. I think Gecko is actually viable because he's just as aggro of a package as the rest of the stuff that's trying to run his package. But he's more consistent with his searchers and stuff because he has the black searchers that are old and the new ones. And not only that, he gets to run Boa. Running Boa is kind of good. Big Mom really is Big Mom.
Yeah. So it's like I actually attended my first pre-release, and I cracked the Boa Hancock. I got 3-0. I got my girl winter card. I was like super stoked. My first ever pre-release. But Boa Hancock, I drafted her. I mean, I got her in my packs. She closed it out the last game. Like, it was funny because I got the Marguerite. I was like, I only had 3 Cujo Pirates. I was like, I guess I should probably look at the top 5. I don't run that many. I'm probably going to whiff. And then I reveal Boa. I was like, okay. Yeah, no, Boa's just good.
That's correct. You've had the Searcher and Boa? Yes. Oh, that's correct. You disgusting individual.
But yeah, so it allowed me to get my 3-0 in my 3 packs, which I cracked another Boa. But for me, I'm not really
Oh,
a yellow player, so
the
I,
AA,
huh?
the AA, the alt art.
No, no.
Oh,
Both,
okay. I
but,
was about to say. I was like,
both are the original.
okay,
I ended up
okay.
trading them both into the store because I was like, I'm not gonna play it, and I figured once people crack a lot of packs, the regular art, it's probably gonna drop to like an $8 card. So I could,
It's the discussion of market is very interesting right now
yes, it is.
because the box prices for this is so expensive. It's
Yes,
like 250 a box. So again, this is me talking using my own sample size in my area. But in terms of like getting product, a lot of people don't have. A lot of people don't want to rip 2, 3 boxes because 4 boxes of OP14 is $1,000. Like
I
that's
agree.
that's a lot to spend on not guaranteeing making any money back. So a lot of people, because at least people have asked me, "Hey, bro, do you got the 9 Cos boa? Hey, do you have the secret Crocs? Hey, you got the Dofi?" Like people have been asking me a lot recently in terms of like trying to find their stuff. And I actually think these prices are going to kind of stay around that ballpark. I mean, I know they're going to drop a bit, but I don't think they're going to drop high, like drop to like lows. So I do think that's something that you should keep in mind. The prices of the boxes are going to make it harder for people to get product.
That is true. I mean, because I felt so bad because like when I went to my pre-release, they were selling for $180, right, per box. I was like, that's a little high, but I probably won't. But I shouldn't pull my trigger on it. Then I traded all my stuff in, like the winner got all the money up. That's like 150. I was like, okay, maybe I could buy a box now. But then they're like, no, it's 240. I was like, okay,
Yep.
I'm going the other way. I'd
Yeah,
rather
no.
just take that money and then invest and then buy the super rare Dolphys that I need and etc. So like my goal is to probably finish up these two decks. I have one Black Rock. I need 3 more, but these two I want to finish.
Just to give you a ballpark for how much a box currently costs on TCG, the lowest verified that is unopened, that aren't just packs, they're like a box is $270 right now.
Mm-hmm. I seen that earlier today.
That's a 270 box is crazy. And then like let me look at TCG player. Let's look at the prices of OP14 cards. Let's see. I don't want to look at the alters. I'd like to look at some of the base rarity because that's the stuff I want to see. Peronas are $10. Gecko is like 6. Dofi's like 6. Let's see. That seems to be some of the highest prices for the cards. Let me
Bob was
try.
like 15 to 20.
Yeah, no, Boa 15 to 20. Good sir, it's almost $30.
Oh yeah. It is 30. Like I said, I gotta
Boa's
imagine it will start.
Boa's at $30. I don't know if these prices are gonna drop that high or like that low. I think they're gonna maybe go down to 20.
We'll have to see because I
Maybe.
mean, typically week 3 is when that you start seeing the actual regular prices start to showcase themselves. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Um, but I gotta imagine, I I think I gotta imagine a lot of people did crack packs. Because I'm assuming a lot of people probably bought them at 180 at my LGS. Because there was a limit of 2, and they probably upped to 240 because they were running low on supply. So I gotta imagine people cracked a lot of boxes. But it's just now people aren't because it's 270. So, I
I
mean,
think the problem is are they releasing their product? Because in the Orlando area, I know a bunch of people who do the like the selling, right? Like the vendors, and talking with the vendors, dude, there's people who've opened up a bunch of this, but they're not moving it. They're just sitting on it. So if they don't move their product, like if they don't push it out,
yeah,
then it's going to be the same shit where it's a bunch of scarcity. You can't really find anything, and you're just kind of sitting there looking, going like, "Oh, I guess I'm going to spend $30 for a boa." I mean, a good example of that is look at the Kuma. Was it OP10 Kuma?
No, it's like 11.
Okay, yeah, it's Secrets of the Master, so it's OP12. OP12 Kuma is
Yeah.
sitting at at a very pretty $70. Welcome back, OP03 Katakuri.
That's valid. Kuma also, like, as soon as it was printed, we knew it was the best yellow card ever printed. One
Yeah,
of the
so
best, top 5. So, like, it warrants that price tag. It's not really because it's scary. I mean, it's just people
no,
really.
it's
You
it's
need,
scarcity.
basically, you need Kuma to play yellow, for the most part. So, like, even, I think Luffy plays it, Boa plays it. Gecko doesn't, I don't think. But Gecko gets to play Boa instead. I could be
Mm-hmm.
wrong. Let's look at the list here. Did they actually play Kuma? No, but they're playing Gecko. They are playing Boa. Like, I wouldn't mind playing Gecko Moria in paper, but like I said, it would really 100% depend on how much Boa Hancock's going for. I'm not going to drop more than like $5 to $5 to $8 per copy for
Yeah,
that.
because I'm looking to get your hands on Legacy of the Master, the OP12 box. It's sitting at $215, like a box. Remember, these are selling for like not even 100.
Yeah, people want that Kuma.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's crazy right now. Just I don't know. Some of these prices, I think there is a scarcity thing. I think people are holding a bunch of these product, and I think people aren't releasing it, which makes it hard, which that makes it difficult for deck building, which means their prices are gonna be higher.
That is true. I mean, you see it all the time on Reddit. People are asking about financing, and like
Mm-hmm.
some people like to buy 2 boxes. One they keep sealed, put it away, in one box they open up. But I don't know. Like, if you are interested, eventually, like I said, we're gonna try to do it next month again. See if we can get it fired off. I am trying to do a monthly, or actually weekly, buy a box. I mean, a box tournament, but
Okay.
it just depends on how many people we get actually into the event to pay it out. 270 a
Mm.
box. That's definitely going to be a little high, but um, basically that
Yeah,
means I need 27 people, I think.
yeah, for doing $10 a person, and that's not even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's at the bare minimum, $10. Yep.
so yeah, that's like the goal, and then eventually, if we get more people, then I'll give second place, like the 2 booster box with the Dawn pack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's kind of the idea, but we'll get into that. I'll try to do it again next month. I'm gonna try to switch it to maybe Mondays, because Villain could
Okay.
actually do it on Mondays, and then I guess LGSs have a lot of stuff going on Wednesdays typically for One Piece. So I don't really want to conflict with your LGS. You should definitely go play your LGS.
Yeah, no, because my LGS I do Mondays, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
That's a lot of
Those
One
are the days
Piece.
that I play a lot of One Piece. I play very competitively. My strongest locals are on Fridays and Saturdays. I use Mondays and Wednesdays as just practice, just to get the reps in because the sim only gets you so much practice. Sometimes I like that paper feel, I like to see the opponent. I like to, read them, read body language and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm definitely interested. If it's on Sundays, I can definitely do it. If it's on Saturdays, if it's in the evening time frame, Eastern, it's because like my Saturday, my local is relatively early. It's like 3:30 and it normally goes until about 7. So I'd be back home like if I know there's like an event, I'd be back home at around like 8. So if it was something like 8 p.m. Eastern on a Saturday, I can 100% do it. But the weekdays are a lot tighter for me, Monday to Friday, because I'm working 8 to 5 and then I do my local on Monday. So my Mondays are gone. Tuesdays, I have availability on the afternoon time frame, like after work, because I don't do anything on Tuesday and Thursdays. So those would be days I'd be okay. And then, as I said, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday is a big maybe. So just keep me updated, and
Yeah.
I can see what I can do.
Yeah, definitely. So, you have anything else you want to talk about regarding these decks here before you switch into the actual tournaments?
Um, Let me think. I think Jinbei isn't going to stay up here. That's going to be my hot take of the podcast for this week. I don't think he's going to stay up here. I think the reason why he's there right now is that he's like a fun deck. But I think in terms of what they see, I think they have to high roll. Like they have to see the Arlong. They have to be able to bottom deck a card every time they swing at you. They have to be able to just keep the pressure up and be able to protect board to an extent. I think Jinbei, although I don't think he's a bad deck, I don't think he's going to stay up here. I also think that way with Mihawk. I think Mihawk is a very, like, he might be up here still. He might drop off. I think Gecko's in a good spot. Luffy might drop down a little bit, but I think he might stay in the top 10, to be honest with you, because people just like the leader. I think people just like Luffy.
Which Luffy?
Both. I think both of them are going to stay on this board.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to move off because people like Luffy. Like, half the reason why I play One Piece is to play my favorite characters. I played a bunch of Luffy decks. There just isn't a Luffy deck I want to play right now, so I'm playing Sanji and I'm playing Law, who are my favorite characters who I think are viable.
Valid. I mean, my favorite leader is Purple Black Luffy.
That one's fun. I like
it.
That
Really
one.
is. It's a blast. It's an absolute blast. I'm still trying to optimize it to the point where maybe I could take it to a regional and not be last.
I think it has legs. I think the Nico Robin and the 6-7 Luffy from the Dressrosa one, the Gear 4 one that trashes a card every time it swings, really makes your deck viable. Because I don't know about you, but being a 7K lead that's consistently trashing 2 to 3 cards a turn, swinging out,
okay,
that's not bad.
Yeah,
you sit there and you just go Robin, trash 2. Here's the Luffy, you can't KO him via effects. So guess what? 90% of the removal stuff that isn't bouncing can't touch him. You put a Dawn under him, he's a 7. So I don't know about you, but if I have a Beer Luffy, a Nico Robin, and another Luffy that's the 6 cost, and they're all bare minimum 7s, I think Robin's like a 10 if you put the Dawn under. You can't grab blade your board. You got to Red Rock. And you're going to Red Rock the freaking Beer Luffy. You're not going to Red Rock freaking the ones ripping cards from your hand because you want to make him a 5K lead.
Valid. So I do think, like, in that situation, I probably would pick between the two.
I think you run them all. I think you run Beer Luffy. I think you run Robin. And I think you run the Luffy that rips cards. I think you run all 3. What about Gatling?
Because that usually
gets 0 costs?
That usually sees play as a 3 of. The one that you return to Dawn and you restand it.
Oh, you're talking about the Rush one.
Yes. So that's why I'm like thinking like maybe you're right. Maybe
to be honest, you might be able just to take it out completely. Because playing the slower game and ripping cards out of their hand sounds really strong. I think going towards that game plan, they won't have a hand to defend. Because in the ace matchup, ripping 2 cards using the Robin effect, swinging with the Luffy, ripping a card, then you're swinging out 7/7, and then that's assuming you don't have any other swings. You're ripping at the bare minimum 4 cards. Maybe they'll take a hit to draw 2, so you're still ripping 2 a swing. They're gonna gas out.
I might look. I think I have that Luffy. I
think
it's a Dressrosa Luffy, the secret rare.
Yep. I think that Luffy is super strong. I think in Purple Black Luffy, it's one of the best cards in your deck.
Interesting, because I mean, usually everyone I've heard talk about it, like they always say like he's great in Usopp because they have the ability to have the stage to give it pseudo rush at characters or char rush, which makes it really good because you're able to do it and actively attack. But him coming down, not doing anything for 1 turn, and then the next turn sideways, makes it a little bit more awkward. But I was thinking maybe you would want to pick either him or Robin. If you want to be more aggressive, you could play the Luffy. If you want to be more defensive, you play the Robin. But you could be right. You could just play both.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I think it's okay to run both is that the Luffy has counter. If he was a brick, I would 100% agree. Like, oh, you're going to have to make your choices, right? But he's a 1K counter. Oops, I chuck him. Yeah. I'm just saying it's not bad decision overall, in my opinion, because you run how many bricks in purple black Luffy? Like 20 total, including event.
Yeah, so if you include the Gum Gum Giant,
Yeah. So you
which
have 16 slots for bricks. You want to run 4 of the beer Luffy, so that's already 4 taken up. Then from there, you're basically super flexible on the 12 more that you are allowed to take. So you want to have the ramp Zoro because that's like one of your core pieces.
yeah, usually they're
So
playing 3 now,
yeah,
2 or 3.
so run them at 2 or 3, which honestly I don't think that's bad either. Run them at like let's say 2. So you go up to 6 bricks. Then if you do let's say 4
You're
robins, that pumps you up to 10. Yeah, 6 more slots. You can definitely do. Yeah, no, dude, you have tons of slots there. You can put 3 Rush Luffy and 3 big ones, or 3 9 Luffys if you wanted. Yeah, no, you totally have the slots. I totally think ratio wise, there's definitely room, especially if you're running the Zoro at like a 2.
yeah, and then you have most of your stuff is that are counters that are 2Ks. You have Black Maria, you have Robin, you have Usohachi. Some people play Sanji, but Sanji's probably been trimmed down.
Yeah, I don't think
Now
you need Sanji no more because if you're running Nico Robin blocker, I think she kind of covers it.
and then you have your 7-drop Sanji, which is a pretty good attacker, but he's a 1K counter.
Yeah, yeah.
That card is one of the most underappreciated cards.
Oh, 100%. That card is insane. It rests such a big body too for what it's worth.
Yeah. But let's just go ahead and talk about the tournaments. So recently,
Okay.
we've had a decent amount of cups, Chinwan Z cups.
You're patting a
So
lot.
there's a Sanji, so he showed
Yep.
up. There's a Kuzan, the Moria, pretty spicy stuff here. Like the meta looks very very diverse. So
It
I
looks
like that.
healthy.
It looks healthy.
It looks healthy. That's a nice meta.
Was that for the Japan season 2 finals? Half or Mihawk basically.
Yeah.
But for the most part, this meta looks extremely healthy, especially coming out from the depressed OP13 meta where it was just Emu, Zoro, and um, Ace basically as a trio. This
What a
looks
sleep
really,
meta, man.
yeah, that was arguably the worst meta I've ever played.
Yeah, dude,
People
it was.
people really hate OP11, but I'd rather play OP11.
I liked 11. I had fun with 11. I didn't have fun with 13. But
People,
you know
yeah,
what?
yeah, people just really hated Luffy in that meta.
It was annoying, but it wasn't the only thing you saw. You saw a lot of different stuff
Yes, you
because you
did.
saw everything that was trying to counter him, and then you saw him.
Yes. Um,
But like, it's funny you mentioned 13 because back when I first started, OPO7 had like that weird triangle meta. It was like 7. Yeah, it was 7. Because it was like Lucci. It was like I'm trying to remember. Because I remember going into it thinking, wow, this game's really boring. You only ever see 3 decks. And I remember it was like my first time like getting into it. And then I saw like the other metas and how it was. I was like, oh, that was just a shit meta to join the game in to find 13 and go, this is the Lucci meta all over again.
yeah. So yeah, that is something that I've never been a fan of triangle metas. Because they literally like most of the time the triangles they cover each other's weaknesses, so other decks just can't get in there.
Yeah,
Um,
it's hard.
so I like jungle metas, even though I like to be competitive. I acknowledge that you're going to do more testing against more decks, but I played in Magic the Gathering. I played mostly modern, which
Okay.
is basically a gigantic jungle because there's so many powerhouse decks and that with so much depth of cards. So like I'm used to having to be like, okay, I need to at least test against 16 different decks and hardcore test each one to get ready for the big tournaments.
Hmm.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with jungle metas. Like I do not like triangles because like you always have you have Zoro gatekeeping out Buggy and other aggro decks out of the format. Then you had Emu gatekeeping decks that want to go long, like Bonnie and stuff like that. Then you had Ace kind of just being in between the two. Like it was just horrible. Like even in OP11, you had your triangle was Blue Purple Luffy, Bella Betty, and then you had some actually it wasn't even really another deck. It was those two at the top 2%. The rest of them was jungle. So
Yeah. I will say, from a competitive standpoint, triangle metas are easier just because having to only really test against like 2 to 3 decks, especially if one of your decks that you're playing is in the triangle meta, is very nice. Because I talk with a bunch of my competitive friends, like people who top in regionals and stuff, and they say the same thing where it's like jungle meta, because as you mentioned, it's a lot more decks to test against, and I only have so much time in the day. So if I'm a working man, I'm not just play cards 24/7. So having to test 16 plus decks, trying to go, oh well, I need to practice for this, I need to prep for that, I need to see that, can be time consuming in a way that isn't realistic. So you have to go into what's topping, what's the top decks. I need to deal with these decks and kind of ignore the rest. So from a competitive standpoint, I think Triangle is better. From a casual standpoint of like, I just want to play the game, I want to go to my locals, go have some fun with my friends, Jungle is more appealing because you play your favorite decks and your decks can actually perform. So it's an interesting conversation, to say the least, when it comes to like viability and competitiveness versus casual.
two caveats there. Like one, um, most of the time, like even in a jungle meta, like I wouldn't even say it's technically a full jungle, right? Because you anticipate the top 6 decks here showing up the most, right? So you would
Mhm.
test against 6 decks, which isn't like horrible. But the second caveat, if you play it in a triangle meta, which makes casuals more likely to leave the game,
Yeah.
and you need casuals to keep the game thriving. So
Oh,
I
100%.
would actually argue that even though it is worse for competitive people, but most card games thrive when they are targeting the casuals and keeping the casuals, and they get involved and they start liking the game more and more and more, and they start becoming competitive players.
Yeah.
So you want to turn casuals into competitives. Um, but if you have a gatekeeping triangle meta, you're gonna push away people. On top of the fact that we already have the alt arts already being extremely priced up by investors. That alone is
Yeah.
going to turn away casuals. So we don't need to double that down and be like, hey, you're also going to be a
Oh,
triangle meta. Um,
yeah, no.
so
I
like
agree.
when I get it, like, and honestly, the best pros I've ever watched in Magic are the ones that come in there like, there's a triangle meta here. I'm going to make this one deck from scratch, and it's actually going to take down the whole thing. And actually, we actually seen that because in the Pioneer regionals, like um, Black Red Vampires literally was not a deck. They came up with
Mm.
it and they tore the whole thing apart.
Mm.
So that is like I guess one advantage of a triangle meta. Like you might find somebody that might make something brand new that they test as a team. But I don't know how many people actually in One Piece have teams like that
Yeah.
where they.
There's definitely some. I know of some, but there isn't a lot. It's it really is just a time thing at the end of the day. It's just how much time do I have in the day to do what I got to do, right? And the casualness, yeah, I mean, as I stated, I think casual wise, I do think jungle meta is a lot healthier. I think jungle meta in general is just a healthier meta.
Yes.
But I could understand the appeal of a triangle if I'm a competitive player and I'm playing one of the 3 top decks. Like in the last set, oh, I'm playing Emu. This is what I'm playing. I got to worry about 2 decks. After that, I steamroll most other decks. And hopefully, I see nothing that counters me. But I got the other 2 decks to kind of hold them down. So I should be okay.
Yeah. I
I
get it.
I think as a competitive player, that is a fair statement to be like, yeah, bro, I got only 3 hours of testing for the day. I only got to grind 3 decks. That's an hour per deck. Do that every day. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Versus, even then, let's use the numbers that we just stated, right? You said there's 6 right there. So let's say I have 3 hours in a day. That turns into 30-minute practice per deck if you were trying to do it in the same day. Or now you have to dedicate a day per deck,
Yeah.
which,
Yeah. I mean, you could do like a couple hours for each one. But yeah, so basically you would basically go to Gum Gum, Rec, and look for the top 6 decks that have the highest meta shares, right? Because like you know what decks are going to show up the most. You just test against those. Like even a jungle meta, like you don't test against Law, right? You don't test against Law. You test against
baby.
the top 60 to 70% of decks that will be there, and the other 30%. Hopefully, you had enough coverage with the other decks to know how to pilot against those decks. Which, arguably, was kind of funny because I seen somebody post on Reddit talking about how they kept losing to Boa, and everyone pointed out like you just haven't had practice. You didn't have the practice against yellow trigger decks. You need to change your behavior against them. And like so that just showcases you like, yeah, triangle metas are okay, but as a competitive player, you're not fully thinking about every possible deck archetype and figuring out how to pilot against them to expand your knowledge on how to win more games better. So I would say that's like a faultiness of a triangle meta. Like you don't have coverage against meta decks, other decks that may have a different strategy completely, and you don't know how to pilot against it. So you're going to lose games if you come up against it. So like you need to be able to be good against everything, and people are now going to be, like I said in the previous podcasts, people are going to have to start learning how to play into yellow triggers because that hasn't been a thing for quite some time.
The thing with yellow triggers is that Boa does a lot of weird stuff with it because she kind of punishes the traditional strategy around trigger bodies. Because normally against yellow, they trigger a body, you don't really swing, you starve them, you swing into their board, then you kind of deal with the bodies one at a time. But
life.
How do you do that in Boa when I'm losing a life and being swung at? You know what I'm saying? So it's like Boa is a really weird leader when it comes to learning trigger body.
Yes.
Because she's very different from for example, if I had to compare playing against Luffy versus playing against Boa. Against Luffy, he is a much more traditional trigger deck. Where I just kind of go, okay, I swing. Did you get a body? No, I'll swing again. Did you get a body? All right, no more swinging. Let you do your swings. Did you go sideways? Cool. I'm going to swing into them. Did you not go sideways? All right. This is where it gets a little awkward.
Yeah, even Gecko Mori is the same way, right? Like you would swing in, they'll get a body, comes in rested. Like, okay, well then I'm gonna smack and get rid of the thing you just put arrested. Yep. And there's no punishment for that. Against Boa, the first time you do it, every single time you swing into bodies, you take a life.
Yeah,
that's it is a little strange that they built her that way.
I will say I forget the video, but I watched one of the content creators talk about the Boa deck, and they made a really good point, which I think a lot of people forget when it comes to fighting Boa, is her effect is only once per turn and when she has Dawn. So a good situation to think about is, let's say they trigger a body when, let's say you're going first, they're second. Going first, you swing into them, they put a body. On their 4 Dawn, they put the blocker Boa, they prep their life. They get the Dawn, they swing. Then on the next turn you swing, you can't really hit the board. You have to hit their face. You can't really focus it. If they play Kuma on 6, like on curve, and they don't have a Dawn. When they don't have a Dawn, that is your chance to sit there and clean house. You have to swing into everything sideways at that point. If you do, they don't get any life out of you for it. If they went sideways, perfect. The trouble is when they don't go sideways.
True. That is that's something people need to start thinking about when you're listening to this podcast. Think about that when you start reading Boa's turns. Yeah, so if you see a Kuma come down, that's the green light. Makes perfect sense to
Kuma
go
on curve, and they have no way to put a Dawn on them. They have to remember that because if they get the trigger body that goes put arrested Dawn, it changes how that goes.
Yes.
But even then, if they put 2 bodies sideways, if you swing in the one and you take the life, well, I already lost the life. I'm going to swing again into the other one. You don't get another life for it. You only got 1.
Yep.
So that's like the weird thing with Boa. It's like if she has a Dawn under her, if she swings with more than 2, you're allowed to try to clear board as long as you're willing to take the life. If they don't have a Dawn under them and they play out like the biggest turns, like the biggest turns that you see is if they go first and 9 Dawn, they go into Boa. Or if they go second and 6 Dawn, they go into Kuma. those are like the biggest chances for you to try to clear board. But again, this is also under the assumption that they don't have a trigger body that gives them Arrested Dog. I also think that Gorgon Sisters, although don't get me wrong, that card's a gas card. Like, it's a fantastic card. I think it has a really big drawback in that Boa's hand size is normally not that large. Like, Boa normally keeps, 5 to 8 cards, give or take?
Yeah.
So when she uses the Gorgon Sisters effect and she reveals 3, she's showing you half her hand.
Yeah, and she does play a lot of bricks.
And then if she's showing you 2K, 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 it's like, oh, okay. You have some 2Ks. I need to swing at the bare minimum 7. If she sits there and goes brick, 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 all right, well, 5. Deal with it. You got a counter in hand or no?
Yeah, basically.
So I think Gorgon Sisters is definitely one of those bait cards that is going to separate the bad boas from the good boas. If they're using it consistently in a small hand size, players who are playing into boa have to remember what they show you and what they play. Because, like, an example would be like, let's say they have 5 in hand. Let's say they're on 10 Dawn. They Gorgon Sister, they show you like 2 Perfumes and a 9 boa, let's just say. And then the next turn they play a 9 boa. Now you have to think, do they have another brick in hand? Did they play out the boa they showed me, or did they have a second boa? But that's when it gets like a lot of remembering. But in general, as long as you're able to track what they're playing out in terms of counter and stuff, like, if you have to remember, I'm telling you, boa is such a hard leader to play into. You have to remember what she's pitching, because you know what they showed you with the Gorgon Sisters. You have to see if it's the same thing they showed you or if it's something different.
Yeah, so there's a lot of overlap there with Rayleigh.
Yeah. You have to know when to swing into them, or when just to say, you know what, man, I don't care about your trigger bodies. I'm going to swing 19 freaking bodies into your face. Deal with it. There's times where it's like, I don't care about losing a life. I'm clearing your board. And there's a lot of weird decision making around the stuff that they do. I will say that if you play green, you should probably play the 5-cost Smoker for Banish, because that makes the matchup a lot less of a headache.
Yeah, and people do also argue that Yamato is really good into boa.
Oh yeah, dude. Swing once. Oops, 8 Dawn. Did you trigger 2 bodies? No? Cool, I'm gonna do it again.
It's like, yep. Bye-bye. You're going right to the trash. You don't get a trigger. Goodbye.
Yep, oops. Here's my 8K. Here's my Banish.
So let's go ahead and switch topics real quick. I want to get into these before it gets too long into the stream. Long into the podcast. So, we have new cards to talk about. And now, 5K lead. You could only have 6 Dawn in your Dawn deck. And then if it's your second turn or later, you get to add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck set as active. Then add up to 4 Rested Dawn cards from your Dawn deck into play, I think. And then give 4 Rested Dawn to one of your characters. Interesting leader effect. We never really had one that restricted Dawn. I hope they give us a card in Enel. I just mean when they have an alternative win con, that if you minus 12 Dawn this turn, you win the game. I just kind of it's like perfect for Enel. It's perfect for Enel because like don't. He gives you 5 back.
No, that would be no. That sounds awful to deal with.
But what do you think about this Enel? Like, what do you think it's like? I do think this, of course, he's going to be very minus Dawn based. But what do you think?
In terms of Enel, the first thing that I'm concerned about is his package, mostly because Sky Island doesn't have anything in purple. They're going to be basically putting a lot of his support in this set, right? Like, we're not really going to be grabbing from older sets like that to build this deck. So I think that's something to be a little nervous about, because if the pieces they throw in there just isn't enough, then this leader can't really pop off. I will say that I think this effect is really strong. I think that it's funny. The way I want to compare the Enel is I want to compare it to Red Yellow Bonnie that got like leaked a little while back, where Red Yellow Bonnie I think is an underwhelming leader effect, but the support is so good that it supports the leader effect, making it like a viable, strong leader. It's like the same thing with Shanks, where Shanks' leader ability is kind of like, that's okay, but then you put his support in, it's like, oh, Shanks is pretty strong. I think Anel's the opposite situation, where it's his leader effect is so strong, if his package can't meet up with him, I think the deck's going to have problems. I think this deck is going to be extremely aggressive. I think that the idea of being able to put 4 Rested Dawn under basically anything you play out is really, really good because it basically allows you to use your searchers as swingers early game. It lets you, and you're going to, again, this is under the assumption that they're going to get like a good, strong package. If they go and they get like a boss monster, like let's say like a 6 cost Enel, that's a 8k body, Dawn -2, do a thing like give me rush and do something else. If they have something like that and you put 4 Dawn under this guy, that's a 12k swing at 6 Dawn. Oops, here's a 5, here's a 12. I think with the right support, this deck is going to be insane. But it's going to be really reliant on support.
Yeah, it's very difficult to actually analyze how this deck is supposed to function. Because you probably win effects that have on attack -2 Dawn or something like that. Repeatable minus effects. Like, sadly, this deck can't play the Gatling Luffy that we talked about earlier. Like, but I think that one's restricted to strictly multicolored.
Yeah, it's
for
multicolored.
The rush. You could do it without rush, but it defeats the purpose. This deck wants to be hyper aggressive, and actually that would be kind of insane, right? If you could actually -2 and then put the 4 Rested Dawn onto your Gatling Luffy, swing for 11, restand, swing again.
That's what I was saying.
There's
this deck can be kind of nuts.
It's just really 100% depend on. I'm assuming we'll be getting a good Enel, super, maybe a super rare Enel that's going to work with him quite well. I mean, because he has to be the boss guy, right? He is the boss character.
This is me speculating, but I think he's going to get the secret this set.
I would hope so.
If it's a Sky Island set, like, who else is there in Sky Island? You know what I'm saying? Like, unless they want to give it to a Luffy, which, I mean, Luffy is the baby boy, but...
Yeah. This is something that I've actually
brought up. I think Enel's going to probably get a secret.
Yeah, this is something I have brought up in the past. Red and purple have gotten shafted quite a bit with secret rares. The last real secret rare in an OP set for both was OP9 when they got Roger and they got 9-drop Luffy. Or the 10-drop Luffy. One of the two. That was the last time both of those colors got a secret rare. That's not the Gatling Luffy in an EBO2 set. So I do think they should give red and purple something in this set.
I'd like red to get some good support.
Yes, red has gotten really shafted.
Give me random supernovas in this Sky Island thing, please.
That does kind of raise a question here. So if Enel is purple, we know we're getting Frankie or Brooke in this set. So we already know the yellow, we already know the purple. That does limit what one of those two leaders will be. I'm assuming black is one of the colors.
If I had to make a guesstimate, if they wanted to attempt to do like flavor text, like to try to match, like the theming of like the cards and stuff like that, Brooke's gonna be black, maybe red, black red. But I'm gonna put money that if we do get a Brooke leader, he's gonna get Laboon. Like, Laboon's gonna be part of his package. And you're not gonna sit there and have Laboon being in black, have Brooke, and then not let you be able to use Laboon and Brooke. Like, I just feel like in terms of like flavor text, because they really like the flavor text for this game.
They need to, yeah. They need to keep it semi on theme with the show.
I don't think they're gonna separate Brooke from Laboon. Frankie is definitely the wild ball. He could be anything.
I think he has to be black.
You think so? Because I could see him being green. Because there's a bunch of Frankie cards in green. They had that really random purple card. I think it was in EBO 2. It was like a random
7.
Water 7. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
that really random Water 7 card that looked like it went nowhere. So I could see Frankie possibly being split up, being like purple something.
Yeah, so I definitely think he's black something. Because the fact that he's probably going to be Dressrosa. And you definitely you wouldn't have a lot of support from Usopp, from the OG. And you probably wouldn't have a lot of overlap between the two of them.
That's interesting. I thought he would be purple because of the Water 7, because of that random card. I was thinking he might lean towards the Water 7 variant of him.
I wish he would, but I think, because one of the sets, I think it might have been EBO4. I think we got a purple stage, didn't we? It was one set recently. We got a Dressrosa stage, and it was black.
Are you talking just about the regular stage, the regular Dressrosa stage?
I thought I seen a spoil that came up in the new one.
Not that I can think of, because 14 doesn't have any stages that are.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't be here. It would be. Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but I know. I swear I seen it. It was spoiled at some point. I know PRBO2, I think, reprinted that stage. If I'm not mistaken, the OG one. But
did it?
Yeah, I think they reprinted it so it would be back in legal again.
Okay.
So I believe they came up with a new Dressrosa stage. I thought.
I know they have a new searcher. They had the Rebecca that does the search for stage, because she does like what the Carrot does, top 7, look for the stage.
Yeah, I can't remember what set that is. Like, what set was that
I
in?
think she's EVO 4. I think she's black. I think it's either EVO 4. No, I think it's EVO 3. Check EVO 3. And then check the black. Because I think. Yep, there she is. Down.
Yeah, okay. Yes. This is the card I was thinking of. It wasn't a stage, it was her. I know they printed something that referenced this Rosa, and this is probably going to be something for the future. And I think it's going to be Frankie, because Frankie, his second biggest arc, other than Water 7, was when he was helping in fighting Pink, Senor Pink.
Senor Goat.
Yes, they did shaft my poor Senor Pink, and this EBO 14 P14, but yeah, I do think this is gonna be a very interesting leader in general.
Yeah,
kind of intrigued by it, because I mean it's kind of like the opposite of what Purple is. Purple usually tries to ramp real hard. This does ramp real hard, but it's restricted. It's kind of like a Silver's Rayleigh for Purple.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
But I want to move on before,
yeah,
if possible, because we have a lot to cover for the yellow. We were talking before the podcast. We have tons of warrior cards getting spoiled in this set, and my gosh, we have a brand new Wiper, so a super rare. I don't even think there is a super rare in Calgara deck. Like, they're mostly rares, uncommons, and commons. So this might be the first super rare in the deck that's not Kuma.
Damn.
So this
about to make that $20 deck go to a $30 deck with just one card.
It probably won't even. It probably still would be a $20 deck. That's probably like $1 or $2 card.
Nah, I'll talk about it after. But I talked about it before the podcast. But I actually do think Calgara might actually be really viable in 15.
I agree. So this thing.
I think that deck's going to go up in price.
So the thing's a 5-drop. So you basically, and your 6th on turn for Calgara, you basically on play, you may turn your top life card face up. Then all your opponent's characters get minus 2,000 power for the turn. Then KO all of your opponent's characters with 0 power or less. So it gets rid of all the pesky small blockers out of your way, so you can keep smashing face. And then, of course, to activate main once per turn, give up to one of your Arrested Dawn to one of your Sky Island type leader or character. So it gives your Kalgara. Actually, so if you. Oh, wow, that really makes your going first much better because Kalgara typically you wanted to go you wanted to go second. That was your weakness, but this one allowing you just to play it on 5, give a Dawn to it, swing, play another 5-drop with Kalgara. Actually, it's quite powerful.
Yep.
And that's not including, I think he also kind of does he undo Boa and Ace?
Not Boa. Because
I
Boa specifically states base power.
Okay.
If you check the leader card, she specifically states base. I don't remember Ace. That's the one I'm not 100% sure on because I don't remember the base if it says base or not on his card. But yeah, if you look at Boa, I only know this because I play Law. And I was testing the Shambles event to swap power with cards. So I was using Shambles to swap their Searcher with a 6K body, and then swinging into the Boa blocker that became a 0. But I still lose the life, even though it's a 0.
Yeah, it's that they're both base. Why?
Yeah.
Why Bandai?
Can we check Ace?
Yeah, I just did. They're both base.
Oh, they're both base. Okay. So so Wiper doesn't get around it.
Yeah, that's really bad. Why do you got to put base on everything now?
I mean, I still think there's a lot of value in this because under the assumption that the blocker beard doesn't get banned, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I think it might get banned. I think the 8-cost Newgate having the exact same effect as the 10-12 Newgate is a little sus. But assuming the 10-12 blocker beard doesn't get banned, if you drop this Wiper, you minus 2k, you make it 10, easy. And then if you use leader effect to drop a second one, again, because you take the life force. So yeah. You drop the second one, boom, minus 4k. You've just made their biggest body go down to an 8k. They're so much more manageable for your deck to swing into now. I still think there's a ton of value. And you know what's funny? If you drop 2 Wipers back to back, you pop Uda.
Yes.
Because Uda's a 4K body.
Yep, 6-drop 4K body. It gets rid of all searchers basically on the first one.
Yep. All the searchers are popped on the first, and all the Udas are popped in the second. And then you just got to swing the 8s.
This card absolutely hoses Law. You have a lot of 2K. Well, you have a lot of 2K.
Technically not. Because the X-Drake protects them.
True. You have to have X-Drake down. So another card that gets printed is a 4-drop 4000 Reki, which is a blocker, not too shabby. On play, you get to play 1 warrior type character with a cost of 3 or less from your hand for free.
Mm-hmm.
Solid effect.
Yeah, super strong. Super good strong. Because of the, early spoilers, my bad, but that there's a 3 cost I'll put there in that list that looks real good with that Reki.
Yes, so we have Kalgara, which is a 3 cost 5k. So it does do quite well without, you don't need to put too much Dawn on this to swing into the opponent's lead, which is really good. And then on play, you may trash a card, look top 5, reveal up to 2 of Nolan or Warrior cards and add them to your hand. So absolutely nice to be able to find your 5-drop Nolan, which absolutely is critical for this deck because you go down on life so fast, casting free bodies, that Nolan actually is going to be a huge thing. And then
this deck is insane. Just in terms of the small package it already has. It hasn't even shown us everything. But the Rocky being able to dump out a Kalgara. So in the Kalgara deck, you run the Holly package, right? You run the Searcher, he gets out the Holly. You're doing the same thing, but now you're putting up a blocker and a card that is giving you 2 cards. So you went -2 in hand, draw 2. Your hand's the same.
Yeah, so you go down 3, right? And go up 2.
No, you go down. Oh yeah, go down. I forgot trashes. You're
Yeah,
correct. So
you
you
just trash
go
one
down
card.
3.
Yeah.
Trash 3
still,
up 2.
Not a big
Oops,
deal.
I negged 1.
It's not a big deal, right? You get a 5K and a 4K, which this one else is a blocker, so
Yeah,
it can
which I
protect
think
your.
is huge.
I don't really think the no one's going to matter all that much. It is a 2K counter, but a 4 or
I
5.
think that's going to be super good.
You do? It has rush?
Yeah. Because let's say you keep the 6/8 Calgara, the vanilla. Let's say you just want to keep it in there. You just have a 6/8 rush.
True,
That's
if you
good.
were keeping that one, or if you're dropping down, cheating down the 5-6K Calgara.
Nope. You just have a rush. It's just an instant swing into something. It's like, hey, congrats. You now have to deal with another swing in a deck that's already aggro as hell. That's already going pop, 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 pop. Going, okay. All my Calgaras are rush now.
Okay, I could see that. It's just one, but I do think it's okay. There are actually some merit there. It's a 2K counter that has.
When I say all your Calgaras, I mean any Calgara you play out that turn.
Yeah, that turn, yes.
Yeah. So you get there, you play Calgara, you do your search, you swing with Nolan, you swing with the Calgara that you just played.
Yes.
You sit there, you play them, you have the Nolan on board. If they can't kill it, like if you can protect it, then you pull out another Calgara. You swing with the Nolan, you swing with the other Calgara. It's like, I feel like this card is going to be super good in the deck.
I think it might be, yeah. You might have sold me on a couple copies of this. This actually wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, like, and it's a common. It's not going to be hard to get your hands on.
Yeah, no. It's going to be another cheap card. We have Nico Robin. On play, you may add the top card of your life to your hand. If your leader has a Straw Hat type, you may add one card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Play up to one Sky Island type. So this, arguably, if you want to put this in your new Luffy deck, you can. Or if you want to change your Nami deck, this technically works in Nami if you want to go more Sky Island version of Nami.
I'm really mixed about this card. This is the only one that I'm not feeling super like whoa about, only because we haven't seen everything yet. Because if you check the Sky Island 5 costs right now, there really isn't anything super duper impactful as a whole for Sky Island 5s. Could change with the support from this set. Yeah, that could change this going from a, oh, this is kind of okay, to a, oh, this is a problem. As of right now, my opinion on it is is lower than everything else, but it's a we'll see kind of card, in my opinion.
Yeah, because if you're playing Luffy, her and Luffy, you gain access to Gonfall, which basically, if you have a Sky Island type character with 7,000 power, give this card -3 cost, so it's a 1 for 4,000 slash, 2K counter. Then on
something to remember real quick. It doesn't say base 7,000, it just says 7,000. Yes. So you can give a Dawn to one of your Calgaras, make it a 7K body, and then drop this for the cost of 1. Yeah,
and then you could rest one of your opponent's characters with the cost equal to a number of your opponent's life cards. It's not like it's a 2K counter that has a lot of utility.
It depends. This is another one that I'm a little mixed about, only because of the current meta. Because, like, for example, Entoboa, she only really has 4 life. The first hit, you're almost always swinging like into her. She's always taking. At 3 life, you're resting nothing. You're resting like the Searcher. Which, don't get me wrong, it's good to be able to get rid of it because, they can't, slave arrow it. They can't do none of that. But I mean, what's Gonfold really doing there? Against like Emu, you're resting a 3.
Yeah, you missed. Yeah, you basically the only thing that's even redeemable against Emu is you're resting the 2-drop blocker, the one that comes down and you trash one card.
And then even then, most of them don't play that out. That's definitely like an emergency card. And even then, if you have them at 1 life, you can't rest it. And the ace, he's already at 3 life. He has nothing other than his searchers, which he can then use their effect to protect the swing. So, as I said, I'm very mixed about this. I think this card's insane against Luffy, against the yellow Luffy. Being able to rest at the bare minimum of 5, pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like this card, it depends on the direction that they go with the package. Because, for example, if this becomes a deck that is Luffy gets Sky Islanders that are more star focused, where they go, oh, did you play out a card? Put that into your life, trash a card, kind of like the Kuzin. If he gets a lot of cards like that, then the Gonfall is going to be crazy. It's like, oh, cool, you have 7 life, rest your 7, swing into your board. You have no hand. I hit you once a turn until you die. Like, I think Gonfall will be crazy good. But if you don't have that, a lot of the current decks are kind of low. And then the thing is that even if they have bigger life, a lot of them don't have super impactful 4s and under like that, at least in the same way. Like, Mihawk is a fantastic example. If you sit there and you play in the Mihawk and you use this Gonfall, if you got 3 life, 4 life, what are you resting? They don't run 3s and 4s in the deck. They run 1s and 5s. So you're not resting anything.
Yeah, basically you have to starve him and keep him at 5 life just to be able to rest down something that they already want to rest down.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything in their deck cares about being rested. Then again, that's only on their turn though. But still,
yeah, that's kind of why I'm very mixed about the Gonfall. I think it has potential. Again, it really depends on how the direction that they go with the package. Because as I said, if they make it more star focused, where they're playing cards that put cards into life and they drip cards from your hand and they're trying to starve you, then I think this card's going to be gas. Like, this card's kind of gas in an L, like yellow and L. This is an insanely good card for him.
It's 100% valid. I mean, that is a good point. Like, I just don't think. Yeah, I don't. This is probably going to be really good in pre-release.
But, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. This is a pre-release card through and through.
Yeah. So we have 2 more cards to talk about real quick. We have Nami, which is a 1-drop 2K, 2K counter on a searcher, but it looks top 3 and reveals a Sky Island type card. What do you think about this 2K counter 1-drop searcher?
I mean, it's goated. There's no real words to really say about it. It's a searcher. It's a 2K. And it's a 2K body. That's the best part about it. So worst case scenario, you can use it to swing into babies, into the little 0s and the 1s and the 2s. So it does it all. It's a 2K.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have the restriction of Nami. Did you read that?
Yep. Nope. She can find herself.
She can find her damn self. What's there to say? Goated card. That's a 4 of in any Sky Island deck.
Yeah, I do kind of wonder, like, if maybe they'll start going down this path more, where they reduce how many cards you could look at and to increase the counter. Which is basically what they did to her. Like, most of them search 4 or 5. She searches 3. So, I guess that's worth 1 more counter. I kind of rather have the 2K counter than just a 1K, and look at less.
I mean, I don't mind it, only because, in my opinion, in a deck like Calgara, which already runs a bunch of searchers, you can now slot in a 2K searcher. I'm telling you, dude, I really think Calgara is going to be insane, just because a lot of the support really is geared towards him. If you look at the cards, because we looked at it before the podcast when we talked about it a little bit, but if you look, Calgara has like 25 searchers. Like, dude, how many decks run 25 searchers? And these searchers are bodies. They're not like weenies, like 25 searchers and they're all like 1 cost 2K bodies. I get it. They're 5s. They're 6s. They're triggers. Like, they're 2Ks. Like, Calgaro's going to be able to find any damn piece he wants. That's going to be... Yeah, you're saying?
And that's not even including the fact that the 5-drop Calgara allows you to draw cards. draw a card at least.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like on top of that, you're gonna be just going through your deck.
You're going to find anything you want. Anything you want.
But we have one more card,
Mm-hmm.
and I probably should have done this one earlier because it's probably not the should probably not have been redeemed for the last card. 5 drop, 6K, 1K counter on play. You may trash this character and add one from your top of your life cards to your hand. You can KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less.
I'm so mixed about this card.
It really hurts your actual leader because he himself makes you go down on life. So like this also making you go down on life is a little bit of an issue.
I think it just depends on again, this really does depend on support. Because by itself, this card's not that good. Like it's not. But let's say hypothetically there's a boss monster like let's say it's like a boss monster wiper, let's just say. That's like for any Sky Islander removed from your board, give your board plus 1,000, let's just say. Suddenly, this card is a 4 of in your deck. Because you sit there, you put your 7 cost wiper, let's say, you trash this guy, you pop a 6, and you buff your whole board. Suddenly, this card's super valuable. But again, with the current package that we have, like the current stuff, this card's not that good.
I totally agree. I think this card is solid draft filler. I mean, a pre-release filler.
But... Yeah. Like it's not bad for pre-release. Like you already know vanillas are king in pre-release. Here's my 6/8, and you go, no, thank you.
Yeah,
like
that's
not bad.
Everyone always plays all the 2K vanillas.
Yeah. So like it's not bad. It's relatively reasonable there, but again, it's just we have to see support. We have to see what else comes around because there has to be a gimmick. There's got to be an idea behind this. If it's literally just it and it alone.
Yeah. And we haven't even gotten to the other Straw Hats yet. So we'll see how that pans out in the future.
Yeah.
Future podcasts. We should see probably a yellow Zoro, a yellow Sanji, a yellow Usopp, maybe.
Luffy. We're seeing some Luffys.
Yeah, all I hope is that we get some good Straw Hat that's a 3-drop. Because when I was building the ST29 on a budget, like I was recommending what cards to upgrade your deck, I was like, there's not really a good replacement for Usopp. The 3-drop Usopp, you have nothing better on your curve, so you gotta put Bonnie in. I'm like, maybe eventually we'll get a good Straw Hat. Hopefully this is a set we get a good 3-drop Straw Hat.
I think it just depends because when I was messing around with the starter Luffy, I was trying to slot in Lilith just because she finds all the egghead, which is 90% of what you can run in there. If you wanted to go a budget option, with the only real negative about her is that, well, her trigger, you can't use it.
Yeah, you can't. But you can still find her off of the Lilith. I actually talked about that in the video. I was like, you could I recommended Bonnie. You could play her or the Lilith. Either one, depending how you want to customize your package. Mm-hmm. Either one works. But
yeah, I guess it just depends what you need. Because if you're searching for consistency and trying to find things, I don't think the Lilith is bad. If you're just trying to build hand size, I don't think the Bonnie is bad. But the other thing too is brick versus no brick. If you have too many bricks in your deck, then you have to go in towards the Bonnie route. But if you can slot in room for a brick, then a searcher making your deck more consistent isn't bad. Because what other searches do you have in there? You have Sanji, and that's it, Lilith. Right? The trigger Lilith. Yeah.
That's why I put it in there. Yeah. And of course now I guess you don't have enough Sky Elements. This wouldn't be in there. Yeah. So like you have options for sure. Like you could also, like I said, you could play Lilith if you want more searchers. Most of the cards are Egghead, so it just kind of finds everything. And surprisingly, the deck that I did build, like you had more 2Ks than you actually need in the deck, because typically, like you would want to have as many 2Ks as you have bricks. So if in my case scenario, you had your 4 Bonnies, you had your 4 Zoros. They both are bricks. So like I had like 10 bricks, but I had like 14 2Ks. So like you technically easily could have added the Lilith and been fine because you had enough bricks to cover or 2Ks to cover you.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, this set is gonna look like a complete banger. Like, and most of these cards aren't even all that. They're not. None of these are super rares, except for this one.
Yeah, we have one.
Yeah, but uncommon, rare, common, rare. Like these
Yeah,
are
this
good.
is all that's been released for 15, right? We haven't gotten anything else yet.
Yeah, but like these cards are bangers. Like
Yeah, no, they're good. They're all good.
this is a common that allows you to shoot another body down. This used to be a rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we should probably get to the closing part of the podcast.
Yeah.
He has work in the morning, and we both have work in the morning, so
Yep,
we should
gotta be up bright and early.
So, all right. So, go ahead and do all the kind of shout outs you want, Med, and
Yeah. Well, again, I'm on twitch.tv / MedEscoto. If you guys like the vibe, feel free to swing by, give me a quick little hi. I do a lot of variety stuff. I want to say thank you again for having me on. I really do appreciate you reaching out. And yeah, as a whole, hopefully we can be a little more consistent with it. I'd like to try to be on here a little more often because it's been fun. I had a good time. I enjoyed your company. Hopefully you can say the same over here.
It was great. Yeah, because I know your favorite villain has basically requested he is free almost every Sunday, except for today because he had some sort of stuff he had to take care of. He requested to do one with Med as a 3-way collab.
Yeah, I'm totally down.
Yeah, we're definitely. I'm gonna try to get that one scheduled whenever Med could do it because I think
Sundays are good days for me.
Yeah, I think Villain's always open. Sorry about not having the other members on. Like, so typically, like Flaffic he's on vacation right now. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning of the podcast or not. And then of course, Repreach is hit and miss. He's someone I added. He's one of my longtime channel friends. He's my admin. So he was filling in to have conversations. So hopefully we'll have some more One Piece oriented competitive people back on the channel, which is where Med I think does a pretty good job, and I think your favorite villain also is a very competitive player too.
Yeah, no, he's very good.
Yeah,
I like to think I'm a good middle ground because I play very competitive, but I play a lot of rogue decks. I'm not normally playing a lot of the top end competitive decks unless I'm just lucky because like one of my favorite decks is GP Luffy. So when GP Luffy came out, I was playing one of the top decks. But I'm a lot more of a character loyalist than I am a tier loyalist. Like I won't play Emu. I don't like Emu. I don't like the character. I don't like the deck package. I don't like it. So I'm not going to play it. But I'm kind of like in that middle ground. Because I have a lot of competitive knowledge because I do compete. I go to regionals. I'm going locals all the time. So I'm very, very competitive focused in that aspect. But because of my casualness of like, I like what I like. Unfortunately, I'm wired different. I'm not trying to always win with the best deck. I'm trying to win with decks that I like. I like to see the cards, So I like to think I'm a good middle ground for that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's something we always like. I try to like mix it up with Flaffic. If you remember, he's always typically 100% rogue builder. He doesn't really play. He's less competitive, more casual, fun style player. So we'll definitely have a mixture of things going on in the future. And like I said, is there anything else you want to shout out, Med? You said you do. I will try to put his link to his Twitch in the description below in case you don't know how to spell Escoto.
Yeah.
Which I totally understand. So I'll make sure I link that in the description so that way you can go follow him. He has 3.2k followers, so definitely go check him out. He even has a Discord if you want to talk to him as well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But yeah, that's more or less it. I mean, I'm not posting too much on other social media like that. I'm almost exclusively on Twitch in terms of my stuff, but hopefully that'll be changing in the future. My new job is giving me more income. More income means more money to throw around for other stuff. So might get an editor, might be able to start getting some more stuff pushed out.
Totally.
But as of right now, mostly just Twitch. I mean, Discord's there too. If you ever want to chat, I do my best to answer. So I can do Discords too.
And as for me, like I am started a complete series of. I did add the ST29 Luffy upgrade kit, so I've done every leader since starter deck 22 and forward. I did upgrade path for $20 or $30 upgrades if you bought two. Uh, and also, I've been starting the process of going through and recording tons of videos on once a week for $30 decks in One Piece. I've already covered Roger. I've already covered Zoro. I already covered Lim. And I think this week dropped. I just did Dragon, which was a fun leader. Actually,
Okay.
surprisingly, it's pretty fun leader. I did Reiju. I think that airs next week. I did Uda. Like, they're all coming in the next few weeks. So if you have any suggestions at all for a $30 budget leader, let me know in the comment section. And I did Kagura, which I'll have to revisit him again when this stuff comes out because it's gonna increase it by tenfold, and it might even make the deck cheaper because I might not even need to play 10 drop a Nell anymore.
I don't know. That card's good. That's a good card. I know.
I added one to the deck because like $30. Like the deck itself was like $10. I had $20 to spare. I was like, I'm gonna drop in a 10 drop a Nell in this thing, and it actually came up. It came up. So funny. It came up in one, I think, against Ace.
So that's just a really funny thing to be like. It's like, my deck costs $10. I need a $30 budget.
I know. I couldn't fit a Kuma. Like that's $70. So.
Yeah. Well, so Kuma was like 20 at one point.
Yes.
It hit like 20. I think it was like 28. So technically speaking, if your deck costs $2, you could 100% have slotted a Kuma at the time. But now Kuma's out of bracket.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to keep going through. I'm going to be waiting, and I might try to see if I can't do Ace on a budget, especially with OP14 comes out. I think that new A-Drop Whitebeard is kind of sweet as a nice 4 of. Like, it's kind of like a mini 10-drop. I think we actually talked about it earlier. He's a common. He's like a mini 10-drop. He's an A-Drop 8,000. I might try him and the 10-drop. Try to see if I can do Ace on a $30 budget. So...
that'd be interesting to see.
I know. That's the point. I'm trying to get you maybe into a competitive deck. You start with a $30 deck, and you can keep upgrading it as you win at your locals. That's kind of the point. Like, you want to get...
definitely...
So, that's kind of the goal, because everyone's talking about how expensive the All Arts is, how expensive the game is getting, because we've kind of become, I would say, the top 3 biggest TCGs now. And we passed Yu-Gi-Oh! Really, so, I mean, in that regard, I think we're eventually going to end up passing Pokemon. I don't know. I'm not going to say it. Maybe not.
Pokemon's a giant, man. Yeah. Like, Pokemon's kind of insane.
That's valid. But I feel like I don't know. We'll have to see on actually how much people actually play Pokemon versus collecting.
Yeah.
So, like, that's what I didn't know. Like, Magic the Gathering is always kind of right there. In America, but man, is this game better than Magic the Gathering? You can definitely downvote this video, this podcast, if you want. But I am hammering down. I'm saying that, like, I've played Magic and then I went to this. It's hard for me to play Magic now because of how the land system is in your deck, and you just get that variance where you just hit lands for 3 turns straight, and you just lose the game because you draw 3 lands straight. It's a horrible feeling. You don't get that feeling in One Piece. You lose because you got outpiloted, and it's a great feeling.
I don't know about that one because, man, I've played too many purple decks where I go brick, take a hit, brick, take a hit, brick.
Oh, that is probably.
too many times that's happened to me. So I don't know. There's definitely some variance.
That is probably the closest, you would get in this game is when you have like 3 bricks in life, and you're just like, oh gosh.
And you draw into another 3 bricks, and you just sit there, grab your hand, and your opponent's like, how many cards in hand? 10. And you just have 6 bricks in there, and you're just like, could you pudding me, please? Pretty, please?
Yes. And they do pudding you. You're like, thank gosh. Or the 1 brick is the Gum Gum Giant. You're like, please save me, Gum Gum Giant. Go. And to think, people used to complain about Gum Gum Giant being an overpowered card. Now look at Gum Gum Giant.
I think Gum Gum was just ahead of its curve, because a lot of people were like, oh, we should ban Gum Gum. I'm like, dude, I play a lot of purple Luffy decks. I play like purple a lot. And I can tell you right now, if you look at the support coming out, everything's giving 4K counter. It's just, this is the first one doing it. This is a norm. True. This is just a norm.
Yeah.
But it's just because it was first, it felt bad.
That is so true. Because like now you think about it, you have Ground Death, you have the Emus one, never existed in the first place.
Law has one. Like literally every deck has a 4K counter, and most of them are free. Like they're not like Rad Beam, where you had to be at like such a low life to do it. No, man. Some of them are like, if you sneeze, 4K.
The one that got me, I absolutely can't stand it, is there's a yellow one that you get 4K if your opponent's at 2 or less life. That one.
I think that was, what is it, Thunderbolt? No, that's it's one of the Big Mom ones, right?
No, I think it's actually, I think it was in the Calgara deck. If I'm not mistaken. I think it's Sky Island.
L4? Was it L4?
That might be it. Yeah, I just thought about that. Like that card, absolutely. I punted myself a couple times because of that card. I'm like, yeah, I'm at 2. Nope, they're not. Yes, L4.
Yep. Because that's a classic right there.
Yeah,
that's a classic.
Yeah, so like they don't even need that restriction anymore, right? They just now they literally just
yeah, everything just gives it to you. They're just gonna go like, teehee, here's a 4K. So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think Gum Gum Giant is anything crazy nowadays because everything does it. Like, dude, Kuzin doesn't even have any real cost for his.
Yeah, Peck.
Kuzin has a 4K one, and it's trash a card, draw a card. Oops.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, totally. I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, there's so many 4K counters that are just around for 1 Dawn. I mean, the only difference is Gum Gum Giant, you draw 2 cards, you trash a card. But at the same time, like, you also have to return 2 Dawn, which is a purple thing. So I mean, I don't know.
I don't think the 2 Dawn is that bad if you have 10. But if you have to do 2 Gum Gums, that hurts.
Yeah, if you are a blue-purple Luffy player.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Well, it depends on the deck. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Because in purple Luffy, that hurt a lot. In green purple Luffy, I struggled to get the 10. So getting to 10 and then going down to 8 and then doing it again, oh, that hurt. Now, so it depends. It definitely depends on the deck.
So now that I know that you're a green purple Luffy player, I'm going to try to get him back, especially if my prediction's correct. And one of the purple ST 31 to 36 is Great Purple Luffy. Green Purple Luffy. If it is him, I'll get him back and he can talk about the brand new super rares. Because I do think, like I said, I'm still thinking that is what's going to be in the actual thing.
Yeah.
Because they always like putting a Luffy in every single STs. The group of 5s. They had purple Luffy and then they have black purple Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
Green purple Luffy needs a little bit more support, and it really only got.
I don't think he really does. I literally think he just needs Promo Robin. I think Promo Robin makes the deck super strong. Promo Robin and all the green cards that we got have given the deck hella legs. We're no longer leaning on just Sanji and Pudding. We have technically 8 boss monsters now. It's Sanji and Pudding.
Yeah, you don't play Luffy anymore, right? Luffy Taro, I should say.
It's mixed. There's some lists that are running it. There's some that aren't. It's weird because
Yeah.
I tried a Soba Mask build of it, and the Soba Mask build is really nice into Emu.
Hmm.
I will say that the Zoro variant, because some people run Zoro. I think they run like a 2-0 of Zoro instead of Luffy Taro.
The
The
9-drop
Zoro
one.
one, mhm.
Mhm.
I'm not the biggest fan of that one, specifically because it's slow and your deck wants to be fast. You don't really want to last for too long. So it's definitely a weird one. But those are like the normal choices that I'm seeing right now. It's like a Luffy Taro. I've seen some Soba Mask variants. I've seen some Zoro variants. Those are like the ones that I'm seeing. But you're running more of the 5/7 Sanji, the new one, the film one. The new Nami blocker is a 4 of in the deck because that card is absolutely insane. Only negative is that your Nami's bottom deck it, so that's kind of why you need 4 of them. You need the promo Robin specifically to help lock down like removal, just so you don't lose it. That Luffy's a replacement right now, that 3-cost Luffy. That one's kind of a replacement for the Robin right now. It's not as good, but it has its place. It's good into Emu. It's not good into any of the blue stuff that you're dealing with.
Yeah. So now it sounds like it's going too green for my taste.
That's the
That,
problem. Is
yeah.
that you're kind of leaning green. You're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
purple no more.
Well,
At least not as much. You still have a lot of purple, but you're a lot more on the green side.
yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. They print a green purple Luffy in the ST set, the starter decks in next July,
Yeah,
and
and give me some more
it's
purple.
yeah. Give us more purple because then it also works with purple black Luffy. It also works with Luffy. It also works for et cetera, et cetera. And
Yeah,
I mean, they kind of went away from purple straw hats. They're going into green more and yellow. So
yeah.
I don't know. I just think it'd
We'll
be
have to see.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I said, they always print a Luffy every single starter set group. So
Do they?
yeah, like I said, Luffy. And then they had purple black Luffy the year after, and now I'm saying they're gonna have green purple Luffy because green purple Luffy I think is a deck that could use a little bit more support. It was a very, very hyper competitive deck. It was like the face of One Piece for quite some time. So it's more likely to be the competitive deck they give a lecture to.
It would be nice. I'd really like some support. I don't think it needs, as I said, I don't think it needs it. It literally just needs anti-removal. Anti-removal in the deck will literally make the deck like viable again.
Yep. Nico Robin, but purple.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Nico.
mean, hey. Oh no, dude, even better, give me like a Virgo or an X-Drake for the fucking deck.
Well, I
You know
was
what I
thinking
mean?
more of what if it actually printed another round of Sanji pudding?
That would be honestly, they need more things that benefit you for Dawn minusing twoing for your leader effect to do something. Like because the deck has that gimmick, and only one card in your deck really uses the gimmick. Everything else in your deck really doesn't.
Yeah,
So
your
more
leader
purple
and
stuff.
you end up cutting the Gatling Luffy.
No. I still have them. I
Yeah,
have them as a 3 of.
yeah. So you have Gatling Luffy in your main leader effect.
Yeah, but the Sanji pudding is the only thing that benefits the Dawn minus twoing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think they would need like a 4-drop Sanji pudding equivalent,
Yeah, like if you
or
gave
maybe
me,
even a 6-drop Sanji pudding. So
yeah,
that way
yeah, yeah.
it's less likely to get hit by certain things.
Well, that's what the Robin protection would be for. Like
Yeah,
you'd want to print Robin or some variant of Robin, because if you have like a Robin, you protect yourself. So on like 4 Dawn, you play out Robin, you swing 6, or you put Robin, you put a Searcher. Then on 5, you put out the Sanji pudding, or you put out something of equivalent of benefiting you for Dawn minusing to do something. Because even if it was something as simple as Dawn -2, draw 2, trash 1, something as simple as that, that would help the deck so much in terms of being able to filter out bricks that you don't need, and you benefit for using your leader effect. Because right now, nothing in your deck really does it except Sanji Pudding. Sanji Pudding's like one of the only ones. Luffy does it, but he doesn't. You don't benefit from it. It's a kill card. It's a I'm trying to clean you out. Yeah, there's nothing that really manipulates your Dawn -2. Like it doesn't go like, ooh, get something positive for doing this. There are things that benefit you for being behind, like Frankie, but the Frankie's not even ran like that right now.
Yeah, 3-drop ramp, Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that would also be kind of beneficial too if the deck had other Straw Hats that were kind of like Frankie, but bigger.
Yeah, they could just power creep him, make him a 5K.
Dude,
exact same card, make him 5K.
Real. That card being a 5K would have made that card so much stronger. Being so small and having to invest every single time you swing with it really hurts using it. But having ways to go back up will be another way of making a deck stronger. Adding purple cards that are like, do this. Because the thing is, it's kind of hard. It's like when attacking, because that's like this easiest way of doing it. When attacking, Rampadon. I mean, dude, look at the Dofi package. The Dofi package has a card that literally goes on KO, ramp 2, draw 2, trash 1. You're telling me a Straw Hat can't have a quarter of that power? Because that's insane. That's an insane card. I'm ramping and drawing cards. Can I get something like that for my Straw Hat?
And and it was the weirdest part about the whole thing is they put it on Monet. Like, is Monet really that gal? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, she's not like the first person you think of when you think of Doflamingo Pirates.
Yeah,
that's just me. But like, she's not like, and then made Diamante kind of bad. He was
which is crazy because he's like the second.
Yeah, he's the second. He's the second lead or triple. It was. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. That seems kind of weird to me, but we should definitely close out this podcast. So before you head out that door, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, share this podcast around, and let me know in the comment section what you think about Med. I'm hopefully we'll have him on again, and we'll talk to you guys next time.